Video, I'm going to show you how to add an attachment to an automated email in make.com. So documents and files go out alongside your message without you lifting a finger. Hello everyone. Imagine you have a Google form or any of the form like type form collecting information from, for example, clients or leads, particularly if you have a small business like what you're looking at right now, and client fills this information, and imagine that gets updated automatically on a spreadsheet that you keep with your team who will refer to it into different actions. But then at the same time, you don't want too much manual interaction involved. So once that hits the spreadsheet or once that form gets sent, gets submitted, you want a welcome email to be triggered, and even with a lovely attachment attached, just like this, for them to refer to book a call with you, to ask further questions, etc. This video is going to explain to you how to do it exactly just that. In my last video, we actually have used this scenario, completed the first half of this scenario. We have the Google form to gather new customer inquiries. And then we also have the information logged onto this Google Sheet. We have two different ways of doing it. One is a direct linkage between Google Form and Google Sheet without using make.com. The second method is using make.com, creating a Google Form module. The second module, it could either be a Google Form or Google Sheet module to do exactly the step 2 to log the information in. We've talked about that. And then this time, we're going to talk about whether a new role is entered. How we're going to trigger that final action is to send an automated welcome email with attachment on make.com. Let's get started. First, let's talk about in a scenario where we choose not to use the direct link between the Google Form and Google Sheet. We want make.com to do every lifting for us. In the first module, we have set it up last time to watch the form, to have new information come in, new submissions. And from that, we pass on that information by adding that response to the Google Sheet. We talked about specifically last time how to get the right piece of information mapped through without having additional information like this. So last time we talked about how to actually get the clean information through using the mapping like here. Now this focus this time is to send that email right now. If you want to watch the previous recording about how I created these two modules, feel free to click on the link in the description below. Just for your information, if you want to build automations faster, click the link in the description of this video below to get my free make.com beginner's guide right now. It covers the core skills that you'll need to get real results quickly in a matter of days. Thank you. To add the new module, you would think, do I need to actually watch the role entering the Google Sheets before I send out the email? Because we have also done a module on watch roles. So when we see there is something new coming to a Google Sheet, we trigger the action after that. In this scenario, no, you don't have to waste that connection. You can go straight to Gmail. So you go to the little plus button and click on Add Module. We're going to add Gmail, and we're going to get send an email. Now, to add the recipient, we need to make sure we map the right recipient. Now, the trick is, just like the previous video, when you click on that, it will give you Google Form information. When you look at Google Form information like this, you can see name, email addresses, and your message. Could I just click on this email address? No, if you do that, this information will come through. So you will never get sent the email properly. So you need to make sure the information that you're mapping is to go further. You need to go to the email address, click onto this triangle to expand it, click onto the text answers to expand it, click onto the answer bracket to expand it until you see the value with an example right next to you to see that is the right value that I'm pulling. And then you click on that, and that's exactly the value that you need. Let's put on the subject line. You don't probably need to pull any information, so you can just say, welcome to my coaching, something like that. Now we need to design the body. Click on Add Body Content. You'll see we talked about adding an attachment. The key thing here, we could use the file name and data. However, if you use Google Drive, it's not going to be easy. So I'm going to skip that step for now. I'm going to go for another easier way that everybody, doesn't matter what you use, as long as you have a URL for that file, you can attach the file in the text. So we're going to fully use the text area to start building our email. Let's just say, thank you. Hi. You can even put the name, text answer value. So hi, name. Thank you for your interest in my services. I would love to work with you and book a introductory call with you. For transparency, please find my attached price list for my coaching service. 6. Okay, this is a lovely email. How am I going to add the attachment? So I want to have the attachment here, right? So we need to do a bit of magic using the HTML code. Now I already have the code ready here. Let me just pop that in, and then you can definitely, you need to replace that with something like this. So you need to have this triangle bracket open, AHREF equal double bracket, double quote, and then the actual URL, right? So the actual URL for my file is here. Pop that in, and then price list. And then remember, give it a space just so that it feels like a sentence, it reads like a sentence. And then when you receive that email, you should receive something like this. And then the attachment right there as well. Okay. Great. So let's just click save and just save the scenario. I'm going to put in Jane Doe. I'm going to use my own Gmail address. Please let me know more. And I'm going to submit a new client inquiry and fire that scenario and see how it goes. Excellent. Great. Now let's click run once. Excellent. The email has come through. Welcome to my coaching. Hi, Jane Doe. So the name has pulled through, and this is the attachment with the HTML code that we have just done, and then the attachment is now attached to the email as well. There you go, as simple as that. Now imagine if you do not use the mate.com to log the sheets into a specific spreadsheet that you identify. If you want the direct linkage between the Google form and Google Sheet, which you can actually go back to my previous video to find out how to do it, you can do exactly the same thing, but in a slightly different way. You first probably need to watch this new row to come in. So your scenario, we need to start with having this spreadsheet as your spreadsheet base and watch a new row to come in. And then once you watch a new row and then get this piece of information to send an email and using exactly the same way to do it. So you would be probably start with a Google Sheet, watch new rows, and you want to get the new rows from here and then from the form response, and then that's it. So after that, you would then add the same module, Gmail, and send an email. For add recipient, you just need to select email address from the Google Sheet, and there you go. Then it's the same way of doing it. If you are linking directly between Google Form and Google Sheet to lock that first 2 steps, which is using the method 1 without touching make.com, you will still need 2 modules in your scenarios to make this work. Whereas if you want make.com to detect the submission of a form, log it to a sheet, and then send an email, you will need 3 steps to do it. Okay, this is what I would like to explain to you today. Now you know how to add an attachment when you send an email, Gmail in this case, on make.com using HTML code. It's a very short code. You can find this code in the description. You can copy paste directly for your own use with an example included down here. If you have any questions, do let me know. If you want to go back to watch the previous recording to understand the first part of this build of this scenario, please go ahead. If you build all of these steps, you will have a fully functional new client inquiry automation workflow set up for you, for your business, for your team. Next video, I'm going to talk about how to reply to an email automatically, not to send a new email, but to reply in the same thread so that it feels like a personal response. A completely different skills and one that clients really appreciate. So I hope my videos have helped. If you want more of these videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.